Good evening, everybody. This is Stephen Nelson. This is Full Time Devils, and this is tomorrow's Transfers Today, the video where we look at all of the stuff that's breaking around, all the press, and we give it you in one easy-to-follow video, and then you can move on with the rest of your life, and you don't have to check it out first thing in the morning like everybody else. So, the ones that we're going to talk about today, the big one, I think it's quite a significant one actually, is that Verratti has just joined Raiola, made Raiola his agent. Now, United may be known by some as Raiola FC. He's got quite a lot of players at Manchester United, and he's made some moves happen to Manchester United in recent times, hasn't he? So I think it's an interesting move to say the least. If we say that alone, it's worth having, because Verratti is a player that we could definitely do with, an absolute top draw footballer. I would love to see Verratti in a United shirt. He might be the kind of guy that we need in defensive midfield. Him moving to Raiola, the relationship that we have with Raiola, the thing is you won't hear anything about it if it's Raiola. He gets his deals done quick. Because he's a one-man agency, there's no leaks usually as well. So this is one to keep an eye on. Now, the MEN have picked up a report from Italy, but the report that they picked up from Italy is complete and utter bollocks. It's from Tutto Mercato Web. And the Tutto Mercato... the report from Italy, let's just say that, shall we? The report from Italy says that one of United's scouts has been in contact with the representatives. And for starters, no, because his representatives are now Raiola. And for two, scouts don't do that. Scouts come back, they offer reports up to the coaching staff, to the recruitment head, and then it gets moved on from there. So this is it's factually wrong, and it's just wrong on all sorts of different levels. I'm not surprised that the MEN picked it up and didn't fact check it though, because the MEN is an absolute gutter press, isn't it? The next one that we've got is Chelsea have just confirmed the signing of Morata. I think it's quite obvious that Manchester United's interest ended in him as soon as we signed Lukaku. I'm pretty sure we was playing both off, and then we got the one we wanted in Lukaku, looking at how fast that all changed and the things that Herrera was coming out and saying, and obviously things that was getting leaked around everywhere and making me look like a right tit. So I don't think it's a massive issue about Morata going to Chelsea. I was interested to see what he could do in a United shirt. I'm not going to slag him off. He's a good footballer. I hope he's not a success at Chelsea, because he's got the ability and the talent to be a success. But as you know, I'm all about Lukaku, and I think we've made the correct choice out of those two players. Clearly, Madrid was trying to negotiate for a higher price with us by all accounts. It is what it is. The next one that we've got is there's going to be a B emoji for the Manchester Derby, hashtag Manchester Derby, for the game that's going to be played in Houston, early hours of Friday morning, UK time. I'm really happy with that. I like it. I think it's fantastic, and there's going to be an emoji on Twitter for it as well, so you'll see the B emoji with hashtag Manchester Derby, and I think it's fantastic. I was really proud to see the way Manchester rallied round after the bomb, and used the B as a symbol of this city, and as a symbol, as a giant FU to anyone that decides to try and hurt the children of Manchester and stuff like that. So I think it's got a really fantastic thing to look forward to. I wouldn't mind seeing it be a permanent thing on the two Manchester club shirts, in all honesty, if I'm being completely honest. The under-23s tonight played against Salford City. Ryan Giggs was there, Scholesy was there, Nicky Butt was there. Strong lineup from Manchester United. I thought Matty Willett was excellent. Wore the captain's armband late on in the second half. Who started off with it? Can't remember who started off the match wearing it. Joe Riley started it. That's who started off with it. For me, Willett was probably the man of the match. He looked commanding. Looked like he was angry, actually. Looked like he was playing really angry, but he had an excellent game. Salford was a good side. Salford have had 24 new signings. I think they've now gone full time. The Class of 92 boys really ramping up what's going on. The new stadium is 3/4 of the way done. All bar where the original main stand was is now covered with terracing behind the goals and seating along the long side. They've now got the one side to finish. Saw Angel Gomez and had a quick chat to Angel while he was there, congratulating on him getting his first team debut. A couple of the other under-18s there as well. Everybody looking forward to the game on Saturday in Northern Ireland for the Super Cup against Northern Ireland's under-18 or under-19 side. So it's all good. Saw Webby there as well. Saw Danny Webber there. Saw loads of people there actually. It's great spotting at Salford. But it was a really good game. Absolute torrential downpour. Like, my jeans are still wet and I was undercover for most of it. But it was a good game. So nice to see how the Salford Stadium is developing. Nice to see some performances from everyone. We started out with a great back four. I just don't think that we're going to see that back four finish this season as Manchester United players, unfortunately. Joe Riley at right back, Karen Borthwick-Jackson left back, Roshan and Terrell Warren as centre halves. awesome back four, decent going forward, still needs a little bit of work. I was hoping to see James Wilson come on, it didn't happen, so I don't know what's going on with that. I would like to have seen him. The team sheet that I saw on Monday, James Wilson was in it. He wasn't in the team that we saw today, so maybe he got a knock. And the last one that we've got to talk about is, producer Chris sent me this one just before we got it, and it was the Express have just run a Barkley story saying that Jose Mourinho fancies a little bit of Ross Barkley. Not buying it for starters. Apparently 50 million is the price. Okay, where does Ross Barkley fit into this Manchester United side? I have no idea where Ross Barkley fits into this Manchester United side at all. Any of you guys? Right, that'll probably do us for the transfers. Do you want to talk about some more transfers? And I'll come to the comments. Or do you want to talk about Full-Time Devils FC versus Arsenal Fan TV FC? You guys let me know in the comments. Any questions along all that stuff? See, Tony Montana there with Manager of the Year, Housen. I think that's not a bad shout. Leipzig not getting rid of Naby Keita, says Raj. Eric Dyer is a fair shout. Mourinho. I think Spurs are not buying, so they're going to be reluctant to sell, I would imagine. Who's going to be the defensive midfielder? If some miracle we get, who's going to be the defensive midfielder if I couldn't understand that, sorry. How do I think Pogba and Lukaku will link? Well, considering they're good friends, I'm hoping fantastic. I'm putting a lot in that. Krikoviak, someone says, yes, I would absolutely love Krikoviak. He's a belting player. Congrats on beating the AFTV knobheads. House and for next United manager. It's a little bit giddy. But thank you. It was an awesome day out. Really enjoyed it. And I'm just glad that we got that win under our belts to kick it off with. As the Manchester Derby happened, no, it's early hours of Friday morning. My opinion on Troop's meltdown. Troops didn't have a meltdown. DT had a meltdown. And it was obvious it was going to happen, wasn't it? The coverage of the match on AFTV was pathetic. Just complaints and excuses. It's hilarious, isn't it? I mean, the way that Robbie kept going on that it was our... We've had tons and tons of games. Like, it was our first game. Literally, we had 12 days notice for that, and we assembled that. And if we'd have had a little bit more time, we'd have had a team that would have absolutely blown them out of the water. I spoke to Rico Gomez about it today and asked maybe we could have got Angel in there as a little bit of a ringer, but that might have been a bit too far, I think. And, you know, let's face it, he's playing for Manchester United, isn't he? How am I not bragging about it? Give it to them Arsenal bitter shitbags. We won the game. We don't need to do it any more than that, do it? It's as simple as that. Pride comes before a fall and all that lot. DT begging for a rematch. I saw that. DT has tried to make it a little bit personal with the rematch. Listen, if he wants a rematch, we can have a rematch. But if he wants to make it personal, maybe we do it in the Octagon, where it's actually us two. And see how long he lasts then. See if he's got the stones to do that. Transfers, please, says Aaron Lee. Why did Hilly not 2-foot DT? Don't know. AFTV had trials for their players. Yes, listen, I think we're going to be keeping the Full-Time Devils FC going. So if you guys have got an interest, let us know. And I think we'll probably update you in due course because it's not going to be regular. It might be every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, something along those lines. It's going to be irregular, but we do want to get together. We're going to have like a massive squad we can call on. Because if we had 40 people in the squad, we put a date out for a game, 20, 25 people are going to turn up, aren't there? There'll be loads that say they can and don't, so, you know. AFTV deserved to lose to Full-Time Devils. They did, I agree. My opinion on Verratti United, absolutely would love it. Absolutely would love it. It's fantastic. McGregor or Mayweather, let's keep it semi-relevant. Like all Arsenal teams, soft. Yeah, I mean, they played the Arsenal way, didn't they? As soon as it went against them, they crumbled. They started arguing and... there you go. Did the reserves win tonight? No, it was 2-2, Joshua. It was 2-2. 20 times. Alexis Sanchez would be a marquee signing. I'm almost don't want to talk about Alexis Sanchez because I don't think it would happen. Yeah, I don't think it would happen. FTD account has just said, if you want more FTD FC, go and share the video of us versus Arsenal fans. Go and share that video because obviously if that gets loads of hits, then we know that you guys really want to see that content, and I understand that's going to be a marquee team for us to play. But you know, we can play the likes of hashtag. We can definitely do that. We can play any of them teams that's out there, and if you want us to do that, we'll have a look into it. What's my preferred formation for the City game? I'm torn actually, because half of me wants to see Jose Mourinho play what he thinks is a system that can beat Pep, because he has struggled against Pep. Let's be completely honest here. He has struggled against Pep Guardiola's teams in the past. So if he can come up with a system that he thinks is going to beat him, I would like to see him try that. But I'm also torn, because half of me wants me to go, nah, if we've got a system that we think can beat them, let's save it for when it actually means something, because these friendlies don't mean anything. But then how do you know it's going to work unless you try it in a friendly? So I'm really torn on it, to be honest. When it's a draw for the next round, we've got Creators. Creators beat Cheeky Sport. We're now playing Creators in the semi-final. Is Cruz better than Verratti? They're both in that sort of like really good ballpark, and I think they're different players, but I'd be happy with either of them. Verratti to Liverpool, behave yourself. Who's the best defensive midfielder? I don't know. It depends on what your team needs and who you can get, isn't it? Sometimes the best player is the one that you can get, not the one that might be the absolute best in the world. Verratti is 5'4". Is he that small? I know he's a little lad, but I didn't think he was that small. I crapped up when the ref told E to get off the pitch and take the shirt off. Yeah, I mean, the referee, they're going on about the referee, but the referee was an Arsenal fan. And do you know what? Can we actually just... Yeah, I'm going to do this right now, actually, because I've listened to all complaining from Arsenal Fan TV and from DT and Robbie, and all they've spoken about is the referees. But can I just say, if that was me on the other side of that, and I'm looking at what's gone wrong for us, right? So I'm looking at what's gone wrong for Full-Time Devils. It was a stupid own goal mistake, right? Maybe we need to work on a bit of communication in that back line. But if I'm Robbie, or I'm the Arsenal Fan TV players, I'm saying, what did we do wrong in that game? Now, I've got to say, for the free kick, the wall was in the wrong place, the keeper was at fault. So you need to go and work on that. For the second goal, we reacted quicker. Your defence isn't working as a defensive unit, and that's why we reacted quicker. We got onto the ball and we put it away in the back of the net. If you had a defence that was working as a unit, man marking, picking up runners, then Smith doesn't get on the end of that ball and we don't win that game. So stop looking at the referees, start looking introspectively and start taking responsibility for the mistakes that your team made, especially when you've had 1,000 players turn up for a trial, you've had training sessions, and you've already had one game. Why were these things not identified? Now, if Arsenal Fan TV was serious about having a football team, that's the sort of things that they need to be looking at. And if it was me that had lost, that's the sort of things I'd be looking at. But we didn't lose. We won. So I'm not. Happy days. Mo needs to stop taking off his shirt. Too much emphasis on buying in. That's a great point, Daniel. I like that. Can I join the team, Full-Time Devils? Yeah, like we said, there is going to be more matches for Full-Time Devils. We don't know the details of that there. We don't know where we're going to play. We don't know if we're going to run a bit of an open trial. We don't know if we're going to run training. We don't know loads of stuff. We know that we would like to continue with it, but we need you guys to let us know that you want to do that. So just keep an eye on all our social media, and as soon as we've got any details like that, we'll definitely tell you how it's going to go. Reckon Lukaku, Martial and Rashford enough as a striker this season? Yes, because I think if you play a second striker, it'll be like one of the attacking midfielders that can play off him a little bit, I reckon. Is United and City tonight? No, it's not tonight, the next day. Who is in the other semi? Can't tell you that because they haven't played them yet, technically. Andy Tate was class, great involvement. Exactly. We did it the right way. I'm really proud of how Full-Time Devils approached this. We've got presenters. We've got the guys that you've seen on fan cams. We've got Andy Tate. We've got Sam. I was involved. When you turn on to watch Arsenal Fan TV versus Full-Time Devils, like, you want to see all of them guys, don't you? You want to see Andy Tate matching up against Ty. You want to see Claude play, maybe. You want to see all of those guys. Like, where's the guy who wears the backwards shirt who looks like Giroud? Why wasn't he playing? Where's all them guys from all the fan cams? Like, that's what it should have been. So that's why I'm glad that we beat them after the way they did it with the trial, because I thought we did it correctly. So, you know. Will Zlatan sign a new contract? I think he will, to be honest. I actually think he will. Perisic sucks. I disagree. I think he's a good player. Was Rico playing tonight? No, he wasn't. He was watching. Rico's dislocated his shoulder playing five-a-side the week before we played him, and he had to pull out literally the day before. But I spoke to him tonight and he said he's interested and he will be playing in the next lot of games. So maybe Angel will come and watch. I don't know. Depends if he's playing, I guess. KS says, want to play 3-5-2 versus City. Me too, really. Kinda. I don't know. When are we signing Perisic? Don't know, you know. There's a little bit of a word going around that we might not be signing anyone, you know. If we're not, we're not. I guess we have to go as we are, don't we? Neymar bullshit, yeah, I'm not even starting that way. I mean, we're not like clickbait kind of gaff, are we? So we're not going to even pretend that we think Neymar to United is a possibility. No way, sir, whatsoever. Get all of the Slash Football guys. They seem a worthy opposition. Yep. No Slash Football. We could easily make that happen. We can make it happen with anyone. I mean, Boltwood works at hashtag. We can definitely get hashtag if we want hashtag. But I think we need a couple of training sessions, and this was mega rushed. We would like to maybe do this, you know, less rushed and a bit more on our terms. It was a long old day out, that was. Adam McCullough was epic, that slide tackle. I watch Adam McCullough and imagine that was what it was like watching me play when you're the coach and you're like, I'm going to have to pull him off in a minute because he's going to get sent off any second for the entire game. Someone saying thank you for the picture tonight. No problem, my mates. We need another striker. I'm not sure we do. I think we're okay as we are, you know. Verratti and Sanchez says Sammy Playboy. Now that is Playboy talk, mate. If we got Verratti and Sanchez, I would think about booking a parade right now, but I think that's probably a little bit on the unrealistic side, mate, so I don't even want to talk about that, you know. Andres Pereira is mint. Agreed. Palmers versus FTD FC. Maybe we can make that happen. When are we hiring the Black Zlatan? Oh, he might be one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen. Now, you all know Illy's a bit of a big lad, don't you? But, like, he walks past Hilly and you're like, is Illy normal size? Like, how the hell is that happening? So, if you've all watched the video, the other video to go and watch is the one on Ball Street. It's an absolutely belting video. They've got all of the behind-the-scenes clips and a lot of the funny clips, and they've put it up, and you can get DT crying on there for about 20 minutes as well. Opinions on Weigl. I love him. I think he's probably a little bit too skinny for Jose, to be honest. Barkley replacing Rooney. I don't think so. I don't think he's good enough. Verratti's overrated. Devon, you're overrated, mate. Verratti's class. Do we need a left back? Doesn't seem like we're in for one, does it, at the moment, to be honest? Woodward is weak in the transfer window. Did you not just see what we did with Lukaku? Are you insane? What's my dream realistic signing? Think about what you just said. What is my dream realistic signing? If it's a dream, it's probably not realistic, is it? Bale would be the one that I would want to get in next, to be honest. Do I think De Gea will leave? I'm always suspicious while the transfer window is open about De Gea, to be honest with you. Completely honest. City United is not tonight. It's tomorrow night. It's 28 hours or so away. Do I see a future for McTominay? I think Willock's better, to be honest. I'm not sure how McTominay's managed to get him up there so much, to be honest. Could we get Paul Scholes to play for Full-Time Devils FC? Probably not. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Probably not. I don't know. I mean, would he be happy being on the bench? Because is he going to get in ahead of our Titans? I mean, he's played a little bit of football, I guess, hasn't he? But, you know, it's Full-Time Devils we're talking about here. Fosu, centre defensive midfield, says Pidder. I would like that, mate. You know I would like that. But, you know, someone in the comments here saying Morata better than Donkey Lukaku. Nice one, mate. Love to know what drugs you're taking. Muller would be perfect. Muller didn't have a great season at Bayern last year, but he is an excellent footballer. I just don't know where he would fit into our system at the moment. Could see him maybe playing as a number 10 with Lukaku. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Demi Mitchell is class. Demi Mitchell's only played a few games at left back though, so I think I would like to see him get more games as a left back before, and I think he's going to need more games as a left back before Jose really trusts him. Do I see a future for James Wilson? He's going to need an unbelievable first 6 months of this season, I think, isn't he? Unbelievable first 6 months of this season to get anything done, I reckon. Right, I think that will wrap us up there. So if you've not already gone and watched the Full-Time Devils versus Arsenal Fan TV, trust me, it is the funniest video you are going to watch this month. I promise you. If it's not, come and tell me, but I am certain it's the funniest video that you are going to watch this month. And after you've watched that, at the end of it, on the card, there's the Ball Street live show. That's also worth watching as well. But go and check it out. Please give it a share. Like, don't just think, oh, yeah, there'll be loads of people share it. You yourself, please go and share it. Let us know that there's an interest in seeing Full-Time Devils FC content. And if there is an interest in us doing that content, we will do that content for you. We'll look at playing Slash, we'll look at playing hashtag, and do you know what? Maybe we'll give these paupers from Arsenal the opportunity to get beat off us once again. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. That's tomorrow's transfers today, and a little bit of talk about our game with Arsenal Fan TV, which is clearly the biggest game in football today, isn't it? Let's face it. And we'll be back tomorrow. Laters.